Good morning, John.
Good morning, Zach.
What's your favorite thing about working for the GVC team?
I would say hands down, the people I work with. They're some of the most fun, dynamic, interesting, and really smart people that I've ever worked with in the industry. And then working with my clients.
What's the quality you find most important to being a real estate agent?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
What's the quality you find most important to be a real estate agent?
It was a trick question. Trick answer, I should say. The most underrated and most important quality a real estate broker can have is to truly and genuinely listen. To really listen to what the client is telling you. That's why I kind of tongue-in-cheek did in the beginning. But that is, I think, the most important quality is to listen. That and grit.
There we go.
Coffee? I've had my share today.
Outside of work, what do you like to do here in the city?
I do a lot of volunteer work at my church on West 71st Street. I happen to be married to an opera singer at the Metropolitan Opera, so I've tended to see a lot more opera than I ever had in my life. I love anything art, and Manhattan's the art capital, as well as the dining capital, so restaurants. And honestly, I think the favorite thing that I love to do is to stay in my apartment and play with my dog.
What is one word you would describe your work ethic?
I would say integrity. That's the word that comes to mind the most. The second word was tenacity. And you'd have to ask other people in the office who work with me, but I'd be surprised what they're gonna come up with.
Jess, how would you describe John's work ethic?
John's work ethic?
Yeah.
Well, firstly, I would say it's very intense. He loves to work. And I love that about him. I really do. He's really, really hardworking to a degree that concerns me. I feel he could take a little bit more time off. He really overloads himself, but he's very dedicated to his work. He really loves it. He cares so much about his clients and everyone around him. It's unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a broker care about people the way that I see him care about others, especially his clients. And it's really amazing to watch. The energy he has is like incredible.
I heard you're into gardening outside of work.
Who told you that? I'm very into gardening outside of work. As a matter of fact, I started planting this weekend. I have fruits and vegetables as well as flowers and plants. I planted the first part of my vegetable garden this past weekend. So sweet pea, parsley, all the lettuces. My gardens are my therapy. And to quote Monet, this is not my favorite quote, but I do have it sitting in my office. Monet said his greatest masterpiece are his gardens. I love that quote.
What is one of your favorite properties you've ever sold?
I think I have more than one, but one of the neatest properties that I sold was a large apartment downtown at 145 Hudson Street. It was the entire 14th floor. And it was this massive loft, 12-foot ceilings, panoramic views of the city. But one of the things that made it really stand out was, it was a huge listing for us at the time. And that was the first video that we ever produced. And I produced that video and I was very proud of that video. And we sold it right before the market tanked.
What is some inspiration you could give to someone looking for their dream home in this real estate market today?
So I would say that if you're looking for your dream home, revise your expectations. That's how I would answer that question. And what I mean is that working over 27 years of doing this, I can't tell you how many times buyers have these great fantasies of what the apartment and what their home should be like. And how many times we've lost out on apartments bidding on them. And the buyer gets very, very disappointed because they had a fantasy, that dream that never came to fruition. And my response to them is always, don't worry, there's always another apartment. And we always find another apartment that they like even better. And then they end up securing that. And I would say almost all of the times they're very, very happy with what they buy. So what I would say to any buyer is enter the real estate market with eyes wide open, realistic, rational expectations. You're gonna like some parts of the apartment. Everything's a mixed bag. So you're gonna get the apartment of your dreams, and then overall, then you're gonna say, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. So just go in with honest expectations, and I think you'll not be disappointed.
What is one of your favorite quotes?
It's never too late to be who you might have been. That's George Eliot. I love that quote. There are just way too many quotes that I love. But how about from Oscar Wilde, be yourself, everybody else is already taken. That's pretty great.
Love it.
Okay, good.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Zach.